Alright, hello there guys. This is going to be a pretty quick video tutorial on installing the Stalker CoP Reconstructed mod. I've got a freshly installed Windows 10 64-bit machine here. In fact, it's so fresh that I don't even have Google Chrome installed. I just have Steam, the game, and I've downloaded WinRAR, as we'll need that, or at least a unpackaging software like WinRAR or WinZip. In fact, I'm going to tell Cortana to disappear because nobody likes her. On this particular machine, there's nothing overly special. I'll just have 8 gigs of RAM, 6 cores, 2 hard drives, because I'm going to demonstrate on both hard drives on how to install it. The ISO that I installed Windows from. Sound card is currently disconnected, so there won't be any sound from the game on this machine. I did that because I don't like hearing Cortana when you install Windows 10, so I just disabled that, and I'm too lazy to re-enable it. So as you can see here, I've got Steam downloaded and installed, and I've got the game installed. I also actually have set up 2 install paths. So some people install their games on the C drive. I would argue that a majority of people probably don't, because then you run out of space on your C drive. So you can create a secondary install path for Steam games. So if we take a quick look at those, you'll see that under C drive here, I'll just quickly run through. You can see that Stalker CoP here is installed on the C drive, and then I had it copied over to here on my other hard drive, on my E drive. So the first thing what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to back up your game. The easiest way to do that, there are a few ways of doing that actually. I believe they actually added a backup game files thing. I prefer doing it myself because, I don't know, I just don't use that. I mean, if you know how to use it, you're more than welcome to use it, but I don't use it, so, you know, there's that. But yeah, if you want to use that, go ahead, click it. I'm sure it tells you, it gives you like instructions step-by-step type of thing. But I'm going to go to browse local files, and this will take me to where it's been installed. And I will select everything, all the files, and then I will select the bin data, the bin folder as well. And we'll copy that, Control-C for copy. And you can actually create your backup inside. It doesn't matter where you create your backup. You can make it inside this folder, you can make it on your desktop if you really want to, you can put it anywhere you want. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to put it here for now. We're going to create a folder, and we'll just call it Stalker Backup. Simple, and then we're going to paste that over. And that was quick. I've already got the mod downloaded, as it's a 2.5 gigabyte download or whatever. But as you can see, I can't open it, and the reason why is because I don't have a proper archiver for it. In this case, I've downloaded WinRAR, which is a free, but not free software that we can download. And then install. And I'm fine with the default location, although if you're not, you're welcome to change that. We'll just click on install. I like to associate with all file types. Do I need any of this? I don't need a program group. I don't need it in shell, but I guess why not? Cost, don't need that. Guns and tech, don't really, why not? Yeah. And there we go. We can click done, and as you can see, it now shows as available. Okay, so we're just going to double click this. Now, where in particular we extract this doesn't really matter. That's up to you again. You can put it on your desktop if you really want to. There's also this new README, which primarily tells you about the auto-config software that will be installed automatically into the install directory. But we'll just double click that and run it from the RAR file. And that should start the install as well. So you don't have to actually extract it before running. Little unknown, you know, RAR trick. Just run files from the RAR. I don't know if it's any slower. It might be, it might not be. Okay. So this little tutorial video will show you both how to install the software as well as uninstall. So I'll be uninstalling it right away as well. It should start any second here. Excuse it for being a little slow. It is a virtual machine, so, you know, such is life. There it is. So we'll just click yes. We'll clear that. You see that's heavily outdated, but it still has all the stuff there. So, as well as install instructions as well on here. You just have to read for it. It's somewhere around here. I don't know. At least I think it's in here. I don't know. I thought it was in there. Okay, so this is actually the default. Ooh, what is that? Why is that there? Well, that's a bit weird. Whatever. So this should be. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, that's really glitchy. I don't know why it's done that. I think it's because I opened it inside the RAR file. I think that's a bit weird. Whatever. Wow, that wouldn't even work as a file path. That seems really glitchy. I wonder if I should have. I don't even know how I would fix that. Anyways, normally you should see that. Actually, you shouldn't see that. Man, this thing's really fucked up, isn't it? Whatever, doesn't matter. In fact, wow, okay, that's weird. I don't know what it's doing. Okay, so doesn't matter what that is. So this file path here is incorrect, and it probably is going to be incorrect on your system as well, because on my system it points to the correct directory by default. It's something that I would like to fix, but the NO setup programming language is kind of just weird, and I don't want to learn it, so I probably won't fix it. I'm sorry about that, but it's it's an easy solution, so let's not even worry about that. So basically, got to this point. Let's right-click our STALKER CoP Pripyat. Go to Properties, Local Files, Browse Local Files. Right, and all you have to do is take that, just click there, and click Copy. Now go into Browse. Actually, you don't even need to do that. Just click on there, Control A, and then Control V, and that will paste the correct directory into the install path. And then click Next, and it will ask you if you would like to overwrite, or not overwrite, but if you'd like to install into a folder that already exists. If you do not get this error, you've already done something wrong, because it should give you this error telling you it wants to copy into a folder that exists. And just simply click Yes. And then you can click Install, and you'll see stuff immediately start getting added. And this will take a little bit of time, so we'll just wait for that to finish. And the downloaded file I did get from the website. As you can see here, 1.5 gig. I thought it was 2.5. I guess I'm wrong. It's like 5 gigs unpackaged though, so that's not too bad. But it's the current download that I literally just downloaded before doing the video, and it's version 2.5.0.5. With that, you'll also have this here, which is the auto config software, which is also in version 2.5, 0.0 this time, as opposed to 0.5. And it also comes with the config file. As far as I'm aware, the config file is unnecessary. In fact, if we were to open this config file, as far as I'm aware, it's nothing too important, as you might be able to see. That might have some, I don't know, I don't think it's overly important. I've never had issues without the config file, but I've included it just because it is with it when I create it, so it seems like it makes sense to do it that way. But we'll get to that.
Started a few months back to that. What kill us? What is the takeaway from us from now we won't keep on?
Alright, so it's done, finally. And this is just the same thing as what's packaged with the installer. I just have it show up twice, just in case somebody ignores it, which you're welcome to do, but you know, it's there, just in case. And then you click Finish, and that is done. It should now actually, I clicked on Community Hub like an idiot, but it should now actually run. So we'll just click play here. So this will actually, because it's the first run, it'll actually run that. Can I actually skip this? Because that's supposed to come and play later. You know, I'll skip it for now. Hopefully it won't start. We'll actually go straight to that instead. Okay, so here we have the auto-config software. Now, because this is a brand new system, I can actually show you the, real quick, I can show you the installed software and you'll just see just how fresh it is. So, but if I try and run it right now, it'll, one of two things, it'll either give me an error or it'll request that I should download something. Take a quick look just to see how new that is. Yep. Not very often you see a a list that short under your uninstall. So there's that. But I've double clicked on the autoconfig software. It's taken a long time again because it's a virtual machine and not my actual machine. But basically it'll come up with the same error requesting that .NET Framework 3.5 needs to be installed. Now the actual install file is included with the installer, and it's this one right here. So if you ever have that issue where this isn't launching, or it's for whatever reason, holy shit, it worked. I've never had it work before. Holy shit, okay, well, the game needs it anyways, so we can actually just install it through this. Download and install the feature, and it will do that. Last time I did this, it required it before it would run. Anyways, so if we run this software, I'll just give it a second to show up here. As you can see, it comes, it's really changed from the original. The original is so shitty looking. Graphics currently has nothing under it, but system does. It should have the A life distance and objects per update. But there's no tooltips, so you know, be careful about that. So basically what the software does is it will change your loadout and your starting gear. And it allows you to set that starting gear to whatever you want. Sooner or later I'll give the ability to change your character's health, his speed, his carry weight, all that stuff. But right now, this is what you get. The normal mode is what the game actually installs by default with, which includes a min of 100, max of 1000, the Mosanagit, a Fort Pistol. Actually, I think it might start with a PM, but I have the Fort Pistol. 2 of that, 3 of that, Novus outfit, and some basic gear. But you can play around with some of the settings here. You can choose one of the presets, and I'll just set a preset for you, so you can see they're all, you know, slightly different. If you choose Impossible or one of these much harder ones, and the knife, binoculars, or flashlight get unchecked, you have to know that these items are not sellable in game, and I'm trying to figure out how to get them sellable. But if you choose to not to have one of these, say the flashlight, you will not have the flashlight for the rest of the game. So you have to have a different means of seeing in the dark. Which is not, you know, game ending as it stands, but I would like to get the ability to buy these items. I know it's possible, I just haven't bothered to figure it out. Impossible actually has you start with nothing. If you choose Impossible, I recommend at least selecting the flashlight, because that just makes sense to do. But it starts you with absolutely nothing, and you'll have to have a mutant or another NPC kill somebody so you can pick up their weapons, because you don't even have a knife to kill anybody with. I mean, I don't know, can you kill people with the bolts that you throw? I don't think you can. But anyways, yeah, you can just look through this. You can change anything you like, you know, if you want something different, as opposed to what the preset gives you. If, you know, if you wanted not the Walther pistol, but maybe a Beretta instead, you can do that. It's quite easy. You know, it all works. And then there's the system. If you don't know what these do, you may not want to play around with them. I believe the default for the A life distance is like 250 or 200 or something, and then the objects per update I think is 10 by default. But tinkering with these options here may give you better FPS, less stuttering, or you can completely crash your game. One of the two, or one of the three, really. So, you know, play around with it if you want to. I'll try and get graphics in when I can, and I'll try and get more system settings as well if I can. But right now, that's what we have. I'm just going to click on normal, And when you hit commit, you should see some green text show up, hopefully. There we go, commit accepted. Please wait for changes. Data has been written to file. So that means that it's worked. And now, in fact, you know what? Well, I can't prove it actually, unfortunately. This is almost done installing. Unfortunately, I cannot actually show you guys gameplay because this VM machine, if we take a quick look at the settings, has no actual video card under its hardware. So even if I try installing, you know, GeForce driver updates, it won't work. There's no graphic card technically in this system, so the game will run, but I won't be able to actually start it. It'll crash because there's no graphic card detected. But I can at least show you guys the main menu. So we can actually start up the game here. Okay, go yes. And I'll show you that it's properly installed. And then I'll show you how to uninstall it. Ooh, direct play? Yeah, okay. Just install whatever it needs. Close that. There we go. So, yeah, install everything that it needs, basically. If you don't have the .NET Framework 3.5, I do believe having newer versions will not work. You need 3.5. Then the installer is there, so you don't have to go download it yourself from Microsoft. And when you open up the game, give it a second to figure out what it's doing. But when you open up the game, as you can see, the menu is different. It's all messed up because, you know, the graphic settings are weird. But you should see the version of the game as well as the reconstruction mod right here. And if you download the one with the God of the Zone, you'll see plus GOZ for God of the Zone. And that'll tell you that it's been installed correctly. So we'll just quickly exit that and we'll show you how to uninstall it. Again, I can't show you gameplay because it won't run. There's also install notes under the install directory as well, which is just the same thing as before. So there's that. There's also readme from the original game. There's everything from the original game. So to uninstall, it's pretty easy. All you have to do, and there's a few ways of doing this, but you can grab everything here. You don't really have to grab everything here. I just do this because it's easier, really. Technically speaking, all you have to delete is the game data and maybe the bin file as well. But we'll just grab game data and bin and shift to delete those items. And you can see it'll delete it pretty quickly. Now we have two options for restoring the game. We can either use our Stalker backup, which I'll use, which just contains all that right there. Or if you're using Steam or another piece of software to run your games, go to Properties, Local Files, and verify the integrity of the game files, and it will re-download the game to a working condition. And whatever other thing you use, like GOG or whatever, I'm sure has very similar options. I don't use GOG, so you know, there's that. But to do that, we'll just do that there. We'll copy and paste it over, and now the game has been restored. To finish uninstalling, just in case if you ever want to reinstall later on, you'll actually have to go into here and under the Stalker CoP Reconstructed version 2.5.0.5, simply go uninstall, click yes. It'll tell you that it can't uninstall properly, so just click yes, and it removes it. I do and don't know why that occurs, partially because my inno setup, again, is not properly set up properly, but I'm too lazy to learn the nitty-picky programming sides of it because it's kind of tedious looking. Anyways, that's all you really need to know. That's all you actually need to know about how to install and uninstall and run the software. Pretty easy, pretty simple, not too difficult. Again, like I said, if you're having issues where it's not installing properly, find out where it is, uninstall it, and then next time when you install it, make sure you go to Properties here, Local Files, Browse Local Files, and that will give you right here at the top the exact file path you need to copy over into the installer, and it will work. I can promise you that. As for whether or not GOG has a similar function, I think it does. You can somewhere go to Browse Local Files or something, Browse Install folder or something. But there's that. So I will quickly show you guys again that you can install it into a different location. So under here, I will actually switch the location to my other folder, because the current default is the C drive. The next current folder will be the E drive. And this time I'll actually extract it, because I think most people extract it anyways. You don't have to, but I think most people do. But we will right click and make that the default folder, close, and then we'll have to restart Steam to do that. Ooh, you okay, Steam? Should say if the computer's okay. And we'll have to restart Steam to verify those changes. So we'll just close that down. So there we go. Okay, oh there we go. No, it's being very slow. I will quickly block this out just in case if I have to re-log in. I don't think I should have to, but you never know. Better safe than sorry. So I'm just quickly blocking the screen so none of my personal account information shows up. Should it have to? Don't think it should have to, but like I don't think you guys could really do much with my username, but you're better off safe than sorry. Okay. There we go. Okay, so again, I've got it running, and as you can see it's installed. Let's double check to make sure it's installed in the other directory that I chose. Browse local files, and as you can see it's installed under E instead of the C drive. Before I had it running on the C drive. Okay, so once again, we'll run the installer. And let's do this from the perspective of somebody who doesn't have Steam, just to make things a little bit easier. Hopefully you guys know where you've installed Stalker. If you don't, this will make things a lot more difficult, but that's sort of... oh well, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. But I do know where Stalker is installed. So again, as you can see, this is not the correct install file. Wow, I'm surprised it's doing that. I must have messed up last time when I created the install file. I might have to change that. I'm glad that I caught on to that because I did not test it before I sent it out. I just sent it out because I kind of knew it worked. But I know it's under E. I know it's under Steam, and then Steam Apps, Common, and then Stalker, call it Pripyat. And then I simply take this, again I click there, copy, Control A, Control V to paste, and we've pasted that information there. If you don't want to do all those keyboard shortcuts, you could simply do that, read it out, E, colon, / Steam, and then just type it into here. But now, when I click next, it'll again ask me that the folder already exists. And I can't stress enough that if it doesn't ask you this, you've already done something wrong. The install path has to be wrong, because we're showing it that the file or the path already exists. So, if it doesn't see that it already exists, then yeah, there's an issue. So just click yes, and then we're good. We can install. And it'll be the same issue. You'll have the auto config software, which will let you change around some settings, as well as the default loadout. The .NET Framework 3.5, just in case if you need it. You might not. You might. Depends. As well as all the mod files and mod information. And that's about it. I can understand that people have been having issues because, again, the default file path is very much wrong. And I should figure out how to fix that, but I'm just a little lazy. Sorry. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys found this video at least slightly useful. And if not, then I'm sorry. I'll try and answer any questions that you might have, of course. And you guys have a good night.